hold on to your hats, folks, because this is big news from Eastern Europe that could shake up the energy landscape as we know it. Ukraine has officially pulled the plug on the transit of Russian gas to Europe through its territory, following the expiration of a crucial deal with Moscow. Now, this might have been on the radar for a while, but it remains a monumental, symbolic move after nearly 3 tumultuous years of full-scale conflict with Russia. Europe, anticipating such a turn, had already sharply reduced its reliance on Moscow for gas imports. In a decisive statement, Ukraine's energy ministry justified the cessation of gas transit on the grounds of national security concerns. This marks a historic moment, the ministry proudly announced, revealing that they had anticipated the expiry and prepared their gas transportation infrastructure well in advance. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky chimed in, labeling the move as one of Moscow's significant setbacks. Taking to Telegram midweek, Zelensky accused Russia of transforming energy into a weapon and using it for unscrupulous blackmail against its partners. He expressed hope that the United States would step up its natural gas supply to Europe. Now, let's rewind a bit for some context. The notorious Kremlin-controlled gas titan, Gazprom, inked this transit deal with Ukraine's Naftogaz back in 2019. Last year, thanks to dwindling sales to Europe, Gazprom recorded a staggering $6 billion, $90 billion, its first in over 2 decades, despite ramping up exports to China. On the flip side, Ukraine stands to miss out on a hefty $800 million in annual transit fees from Russia, while Gazprom braces for nearly $5 billion in lost sales. Several European nations that were still purchasing Russian gas had already lined up alternative supply routes, as per reports. The now-defunct agreement accounted for about 5% of the EU's total gas imports, mainly servicing Austria, Hungary, and Slovakia. Post-expiry, Europe's remaining pipeline connection to Russian gas is via the Turkstream pipeline, snaking through Turkey into Bulgaria, Serbia, and Hungary, according to the Brussels-based think tank Bruegel. Don't be surprised if you see a jump in spot gas prices when markets open next. Henning Bloystein, who heads up energy, climate, and resources at Eurasia Group, pointed out that while the end of the transit deal was anticipated, it could still cause a ripple in price spikes. However, a dramatic hike like the one seen during past Russian supply cuts seems unlikely, as European Union importers have been prepping for this sort of scenario. Thankfully, much of Europe has enjoyed a gentle start to winter. The European Union, never one to leave things to chance, has been collaborating with member nations for over a year to brace for the deal's expiry, a spokesperson for the European Commission revealed. The European gas infrastructure is robust enough to accommodate non-Russian gas via alternative channels, the spokesperson noted, emphasizing the reinforcement with expanded liquefied natural gas (LNG) import facilities since 2022. Austria's energy minister Leonor Gewessler confidently stated on X that they'd done their homework and were ready for this eventuality. The nation's energy sector proactively sought out new suppliers that are not Russian. On a more cautionary note, Slovakia's Prime Minister, Robert Fico, pointed out that while the cessation of Russian gas flow through Ukraine would have a severe impact on the EU, it might not hit Russia as hard, according to a Reuters report. Fico had previously warned that ceasing the deal would spell higher gas and electricity prices across Europe. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. What does this truly mean for Europe? Before the war in Ukraine escalated in 2022, Russia was the top natural gas supplier to the EU. The bloc has since slashed Russia's share from over 40% in 2021 to a mere 8% in 2023. To make up for the cutback, Europe has imported massive amounts of LNG, that chilly, liquid form of natural gas transported by sea tankers, primarily from the US and others, in addition to tapping pipeline gas from Norway. Although the EU has also increased imports of Russian LNG to keep the lights on and homes warm, it has a self-imposed deadline to sever all ties with Russian fossil fuels by 2027. Analysts had earlier reassured that countries receiving Russian gas via Ukraine wouldn't risk an energy shortfall. Instead, they'd likely meet their needs by upping LNG purchases or receiving more pipeline gas from neighboring European nations. Nonetheless, Massimo Di Odoardo, a senior natural gas researcher with Wood Mackenzie, mentioned in December that the deal's expiry could complicate Europe's efforts in restocking supplies for the next winter. This is one reason why European gas prices might linger near current levels, or bump up slightly come 25, he noted. While prices have retreated from the all-time highs of summer 2022, they remain over double their long-term averages. The signs of strain aren't invisible. Just Wednesday, Reuters reported that Transnistria, a breakaway part of Moldova, a non-EU nation that also receives Russian gas through Ukraine, had already cut heating and hot water supplies to homes following the gas transit deal's expiration. And this, folks, is merely one chapter in an ongoing saga. Stay tuned as the situation continues to unfold because there's plenty more to this towering tale.